Good evening, I'm Julie Chen.
Wake up, everybody!
But first,
I cannot. On my daughter's birthday. Disgusting. Anybody want cake?
I want to welcome you guys all to my big brother funeral.
Can't find an individual to hate because I hate you all.
Welcome to Not Game, All Personal. Hey, we are a Big Brother podcast here to talk about all things Big Brother, more specifically the events of this past week. And oh boy, Tony, it's a double eviction. I'm Nathan, and this is Tony, the person I'm talking to. Hi, Tony.
Boy. Okay, Nathan, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to talk about this week. Feels like it was once again eventful. Mostly, I guess, due to the double. I suppose that helps. Yeah, I'm still having a good time. What's the temperature check? How are we feeling on this season? Are we still hot? We cooling down a bit? Panic mode?
No, I think it's still a good season overall. I mean, it's interesting. I don't think it's the best season ever. It's obviously tainted by the Rachel going out the way that she did. But one thing, so I feel like it's good. I'm still having fun. It's still interesting. I'm still never sure what direction it's going to go, how it's going to go. I will say, I think I have to admit, yeah, Vinny's annoying. I feel like early on, hear me out. But I admit, I was wrong, and I'm willing to say that, and I feel like I should lead with that because I want to be honest with you.
I'll say I don't know if you've upfront defended him. Like, you definitely weren't as annoyed as me, but I don't think it's like a hard shift to you being annoyed.
That's fair.
In your defense.
I think I was a fan of him early, and so for a long time I had some bias in the way that I viewed him and wanted him to be good and ignored some of the obvious blemishes. And this week, since everybody's gone, it was just front and center again. And it's just a lot. And so I'd like to say officially, I'm out. I'm out on Vince. I've defended him a little bit in past weeks, and I wanted to be honest with you. That's where I'm at.
I appreciate it.
That was a big moment in this season.
It is rather unfortunate that someone with, and I don't want to be mean, I'm trying not to be mean. Because he's gonna have a rude awakening when he leaves the house. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But someone who is seemingly as indecisive and perhaps, like we've described, very much a people pleaser to a fault.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate that he is the one that has been given the most power this season.
Comfortably the most power.
As we are recording. It is official. He has won his 4th HOH. So we will be getting another week of him just completely tormented by having to make a move. As simple as it could be, the guy
it's significantly
gets torn
better.
up.
Significantly easier based on who went out, though.
That's true. He's not going to have his number one girl trying to get out his number two girl.
And it wasn't his HOH.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know, man. But that's my biggest thing with him. It's geez, you wish that someone who wasn't so broken up about having to evict people, give them the power, not have the guy that's squirming at the thought of I don't want to hurt your feelings. No, I want everyone to like me. Oh,
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable. It's getting uncomfortable.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it definitely, like you said, he's a people pleaser, and that's definitely where it comes from. The way that he set himself up was with these two number ones on different sides of the house. Is there a better way that he could have handled that? Or did he put himself in a position where he was screwed no matter what direction he went? Well, if he just picked one and rode with that person, it probably would have been fine. But do you feel like there's anything he could have done, or he just put himself in the worst position possible?
I think that's a very good thought, and I have been thinking about that as well. Because there's some parts where it's he kind of did this himself, and I think even we saw, spoilers, Kelly got evicted first last night, and just completely outed his game. However, real, not real, that final two was, like, to her, it was real enough to, like, feel like it was a big information drop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there have been other people that he, maybe not the words final two, but Keanu, Riley, like, there have been promises made that he has not upheld. So I think, number one, the people pleaser in him has tried to keep everyone safe
Mm-hmm.
and not allowed room for many enemies or even just, neutral people. I think,
Mm-hmm.
like, it's maybe just Ava at this point that has no official allegiance ever established with him. Um,
Yeah.
but I think when it comes down to the Lauren Morgan situation, which was most of the drama last week, I, I almost think he just should have been, like, more firm and, like, yeah, Morgan, look, this sucks, but she's not gonna nominate me. Could she nominate you? Yeah, she could. But, like, I don't know, like, that's part of the game, and I think, like, I wonder, are their games just too open? Like, did him and Lauren reveal themselves too soon? Because I think it was, she used the veto on him pretty early on, right? And, like, that was kind of a big signifier.
Mm-hmm.
And this was, like, pre-jury. So, like, there was little moves, but never an official. So I think, like, maybe just not out yourself so early, because the fact that his game is so open and everybody in the house could see, like, the levels of alliance members that he has, like,
Mm-hmm.
that's a problem too.
Yeah, well, I would say that, like, I think he made it pretty clear even earlier during Lauren's HOH that he was like, everybody was like, "Oh, Vince is in her ear. This is Vince's HOH. He's making the decisions." So yeah, for the whole game, that's been the case. That, like, yeah, I don't know if it's so much that he's being open about it, and I think with Morgan specifically, and this is speculation, and I could be wrong. There seems to be some sort of there's definitely an emotional attachment there. Whether or not it's romantic, we're not going to get into that because whatever, I don't want to. But there's an emotional attachment there. So when he's choosing to do something that goes against her, it's an emotional thing, and she gets frustrated. But that's how the game goes. Like, yeah, I think I like how you said if he was more firm, if he was just like, "Hey, I'm close with her. I know that she won't take a shot at me." But at the same time, Morgan's argument was good that, like, put her on the block. I won't vote her out. Like that. I don't know. There was just so much. Man, it's just so much drama. And I'm not a guy who likes drama. Like, I like the drama a little bit if it makes it interesting, but if it's drama just for drama's sake and it doesn't change anything, it's annoying to me.
So wait,
And
so
that's what it felt like a little bit.
okay, so this week was more annoying than enjoyable for you in that sense?
It was getting close. I think I was like, it was still interesting because there was a decision being made. After the decision was made and arguments were happening, and yeah, it was based on how Morgan was going to vote. I was like, all right, let's get over it. And then, like, the thing with, like, Kelly going in and being like, she's waiting to talk to you. It's like, take it, guys. It's fine. Get over it. My lord, decisions were made. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
my.
was I was the exact opposite. I almost
I
started
know you
cheering
are.
when
We're
Kelly
just
did
we're just
that.
different.
No, because my wife was, like, sitting there and she doesn't really watch. Like, she's usually,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, doing work or on her phone or something. So maybe, like, once a week she'll see an episode. So
Mm-hmm.
if she's paying attention, I'll try to catch her up. And she was also glued. We were just like, fight, fight, fight. Like, I mean, just loved it. Um, yeah, I think it's just like, because there was some line where, like, where Vinny kept on, like, reiterating, like, this is gonna ruin my game. I'm gonna lose this game because like, if Lauren goes out on my HOH, that's a bad move for me. And, like, I think he's right. Like, if that did
Mm-hmm.
happen, he gets to the
Mm-hmm.
end, and they're like, why did you let Morgan convince you to get, like, someone? But he kept saying this line, and it's something he said before in the season where he's like, I didn't have a choice. I had no options. Like, this is like, I was forced to do this. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the line of thinking that he views, like, trying to keep everyone happy, or at least, like, people like Morgan and Lauren, more important than, like, what actually needs to be done. And
Yeah.
I am so curious, like, if he does make it into the end, how much that's going to be recognized as, like, yeah, you won the most stuff and you played the most game, but you didn't make decisions based on game. Like, a lot of these are emotional decisions coming from, like, again, Morgan is wanting him to do this based on emotions. He is responding to that based on emotions. Like, none of this is like these conversations aren't strategic in nature. It's all based around who's going to hate me less, and whoever's going to hate me less, that's the decision I'm going to make. And I think the fact that he blindsided Lauren several times this season and she still was not nominating him, he took that chance and was like, well, I'm more scared of Morgan than you.
Yeah. I will push back a little bit. Like, yes, just making a decision based on whether or not people will be mad is not great, but there's value to not upsetting your allies. And so taking their thoughts into account. Now, I think he did it to the extreme, obviously, and hurt his game in the process. But yeah, there is value to doing that. But here's my take. I don't think there's a world where Vince can win this game. That's where I'm at currently. Because I think even if he gets to the end, even if he wins his way to the end impressively, I think there's no chance that he owns his game. Any bad decision he made anytime he gets pressed, he's going to say things like you've said, and I've pushed back on in past weeks. I'll say it. I'll admit it. Like, oh, I had no choice. I couldn't, like, I had to do it. That's what I had to do. Like, I didn't want to, but I had to. And I think it's going to piss everybody off. And we've seen, if you don't own your game, if you just refuse to say, yes, I did that, that was game, and he won't, people aren't going to vote for him. I think just about everybody in this house still beats him if he gets to the end just because he can't own his game. And so I think he's he's the one that you want to go with the most.
Yeah, it's so interesting because in many ways I do, and I think I've made this comparison before, but like I view his game a lot like Paul's in that sense in 19, where like literally just working with the entire house. Like, I have an alliance in every corner. You know, if we want to divide up the house into 2 sides, 3 sides, 4 sides, Vince is in all of them. I think Paul to me was like more intentionally playing all sides.
Oh yeah.
And like when it got to the end, he knew what he was doing. He just chose to try to hide that even up until the final speeches. Vince, I don't know if he even recognizes that's what he's doing. And I like, if he gets to the end, he might not even know that's what he needs to say. Like, he might legitimately get to the end and think like, why is anyone mad at me? I did my best to protect you all. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, did you what? Like, so I think that's going to be, cuz I mean, like, here's the thing, like, he's got a great shot to get to the final 2. I'm struggling at this point to see how it's not him and Morgan. And that's largely due to the fact that, like, they win the most competitions out of people left, other than Keanu, but Keanu needs, they all need to win their way out, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. Because, you're not going to not put up Keanu. You're not going to, I mean, he's not going to put up Morgan, I don't think.
Well, that's where I think him and Morgan have a little more of a cushion than Keanu.
Because they actually have somebody who won't put him up.
I don't think anyone is protecting Keanu at this point.
I think Morgan has the most cushion because I can't see Ashley putting her up. Ava might, but Vince won't. Keanu might. Like, I think she has the most people who won't put her up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not looking good if you don't like Vinny. But I tend to agree with you that I don't see a path where he ultimately wins it. But, like, who knows? Because I'm like, if he's sitting next to, let's say, like, Ava, does Ava have enough of a resume? You know, if he's sitting next to Keanu, is Keanu's competition survival enough to outweigh everything Vince has done? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Ava, everybody loves her enough that I think she'd have a shot. It'd be interesting. I wonder who has the most. I mean, you think Rachel probably has the most sway in the jury house, but hopefully they wouldn't just follow what she says. Who would you say? Sorry if this is changing gears too much. If you want to stay on this topic, let me know.
No, that's good.
Who's the comp beast of this season? If you had to pick one.
I mean, right now I think there's an obvious 3. I think I mean, okay, this is without actually looking at the numbers.
I'm
But
looking at him now, so.
I think I would say Keanu. Because, like, he has multiple vetoes. What is it, like 3?
hmm
He has an
Yeah.
HOH. And
hmm
2 blockbusters? Maybe 3?
He has 7 total. I can't remember where they all come from.
I want to say it's 3 he won 2 vetoes early on. And then he just won 1 last night.
He won 3 straight vetoes, 4 vetoes.
Oh, okay. So then 2 blockbusters he won?
Yeah, 1 HOH and then 2 blockbusters.
Like, that's really good. I think, like, Vince is... Well, but that's the problem. Like, Vince has 1 vetoes, 4 HOHs, and a blockbuster. Morgan, what is it? 1 HOH and, like, 3 vetoes?
Yeah.
So she's definitely, like, a little bit later to, like, the comp beast and could end the season like that, but I think it's still got to be Keanu.
Yeah, I think so. And I think Kelly's in that conversation. And it's interesting because each of them like have a specialty. Like Vince, if it's an HOH for some reason, he just cleans up. Keanu, if it's a veto, he's a force of nature. And Kelly, if it's a blockbuster, like she's very, very good at those. And I think Lauren is probably also in that lower end conversation because she's won a decent amount too for not like 2 HOHs, a veto, and a blockbuster. I thought she had 2 blockbusters, but just 1 blockbuster.
Well, this was the only time she was nominated.
That's true. Yeah, so I guess
the first time. I guess she was nominated twice last night, but yeah.
But like compared to most seasons, it's pretty spread around. It doesn't feel like one person is dominating. And it feels like it'd be hard to win on just competitions. Like it feels like it's going to have to be more than that in the final 2.
Yeah, unless Ava or Ashley are sitting there, then I think it's going to be because like if it's like any combination of those 3, Morgan, Vince, and Keanu, competitions might just wash each other out. You know, like it's not going to play a major effect. There'll probably be more reference, and then it's going to be more of like, why were these competitions important? You know, and I think that will be interesting because like for Keanu, he was always playing from the bottom, which some people would value more than Vince, who was playing pretty much always with power. And then Morgan, who was maybe a little more socially adept towards, I don't know, different people. Like she's worked with a lot of people. And
she has a Casey-esque game to me where she like played socially through the early game. Didn't win anything. She wasn't trying to throw him like Casey was. Don't just keep that in mind. But then at the end, just starts cooking on these vetoes, especially.
Yeah. No, I think that's right. I don't know. I mean, do you want to speculate? Wait, let me clarify this real quick. Is there another episode next Thursday? And then,
I believe so.
Okay, so we will record next Thursday before the finale.
Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Sunday.
Okay, so next week we can more speculate the final.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought the final 5 is when we do that. Okay, let's walk back just like a little bit because I do kind of want to talk about the decision to get out Kelly over Keanu. Mostly, like, do you think that like was the correct decision, which was ultimately decided by Vince, since they put him in a position to break the tie?
My first instinct is he's closer to Keanu, and I know Keanu would probably put him up if given the opportunity, but at least there's a relationship there, and there's a better chance for Vince to influence him in some capacity. So I feel like it's the right decision in that way. Keanu's obviously the bigger threat, but I think for a while now, Kelly's clearly been against Vince. But I don't know how aware of that he was. Because it sounded like she hadn't told people about this final 2 that they had. She waited until she was voted out to do that for some reason. Weird. Or maybe she just wanted to make a show of it. Ultimately, I feel like it was the better move for him. Because I think that's somebody that at that point, Lauren was decently close to Kelly. So getting rid of somebody close to Lauren makes Lauren closer to him too. Yeah, I think that was easily the better move for him.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the house, I'm not so sure.
Yeah. Well, because like I think it was interesting because this trio kind of emerged within the past week or so of
Mm-hmm.
Kelly, Lauren, and Ava.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly out of just like, hey,
Necessity.
all our people are gone. They're
Yeah.
working together, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I did kind of like for a moment it was like a split house again. Like it
Yeah.
did feel like there were sides, and Keanu kind of like he doesn't really have a side, but I think he's building relationships like week by week. Like, hey, keep me this week because it's good for you. And I think like Ashley and Morgan kind of saw that in the like we're not in alliance with him, but like if we keep him around, he could be good for us.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I thought that was kind of fun, and I think my only disappointment with Kelly going is the fact that like Lauren went right behind her, and
Mm-hmm.
now whatever like sides there were are like completely gone, and it could be a little bit boring for like the next two HOHs if it is just a steamroll of like, because I'm assuming Ava's probably the target, Ava or Keanu, and it's just going to be like one of them and then the next one. So like I don't know.
Yeah,
It just
Morgan's
seems
not going to go up unless the perfect scenario happens. And so he's going to put up the two people most likely to win the veto. So if they take themselves off, then somebody else can go up. Because worst case scenario is he puts up Ava and Ashley, Keanu wins the veto, takes one of them down, and then Morgan has to go up and goes home.
yes.
That would
And
be worst case scenario for Vinny. Would love that. That would be an absolute treat. I would be bummed because I
I
think Morgan's
would
probably my favorite to
well
win. It'd be
yeah.
fun to watch.
I would at least love to see her scramble like that because that would be
Oh
a
yeah.
very hilarious position where he has to put her up,
Hmm.
and it's possible. Although I
The one
think
time that he actually didn't have a choice, but she's still gonna hold it against him.
oh yeah, for real. Yeah, but then I think we would count on just because like I'm just assuming like Ashley would not be on the block immediately, so then that would require like her to win the veto and then
Hmm.
like want to use it on Keanu, and that would also require her to be okay with like Morgan going up on the block.
Hmm.
And I feel like she's probably closer to Morgan than Keanu at this point. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's a fun scenario.
Oh yeah. That's the dream scenario.
Yeah. Hey, that's a movie.
This has nothing to do with that movie. On the so
Good. We're not a
Lauren
movie
goes out, right?
podcast. Yes,
So
Lauren's
Lauren goes
out.
out. If you want to invite me on your movie podcast, invite me on your movie. We're not doing that here, Nathan. Just kidding. So Lauren goes out.
Yeah.
Were you surprised by that second vote?
No,
I think
not
I thought
really.
Keanu would keep Lauren. I think I really did. Like my first
No,
instinct was he would clearly keep Lauren.
no, because if you remember, he was one of her targets 2 weeks ago when she was HOH or
Oh
last
yeah, I
week.
suppose.
Like her targets were Morgan and Keanu, and
Mm-hmm.
neither of them went. So I think a big part of Morgan keeping Keanu was that like, hey, here's another person that would go after Lauren. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so unfortunately, I think Morgan kind of rallied everyone against Lauren. Um,
Mm-hmm.
which like I don't even think that's like a like I do think she was a threat. You know, like was she playing the best game ever? No, but like she had a pretty like not a lot of errors. You know, like she won
Mm-hmm.
competitions. She was socially successful, I guess, in like her positioning. So I think like she had a shot there. Um, so I wasn't surprised. I feel like in my mind she was the obvious choice if most people won power.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so after she lost HOH, I was like okay, like she better win veto. And then she didn't end up winning veto, so I don't know. At that point, I was like, I kind of expected it.
Yeah. I don't know why. I think my mind, and you've seen this year after year, my mind sometimes gets so set on the early groupings or alliances that it reaches this point where it's just confusing to me. Like I'm not sure
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I just expect certain things to happen, and those things don't happen. They go a certain direction, and it always surprises me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think like it's just it comes down to like so little details.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to say hi, Tony? For
Oh,
those listening and not watching, my daughter just decided to step on screen. You want to say hi? No. Do you want to go get a snack? Okay, go get some applesauce. Anyways, yeah. I think like this end game comes down to such like little things that make the difference.
mm-hmm.
And they kind of like snowball and add up into like becoming bigger things. And
Mm-hmm.
because like you're right, like on surface level, it's like, well, Keanu and Lauren, there's no like history there, but I think I don't know, the smallest conversation could lead to okay, this is my target, and I think people are just searching for like anything
Mm-hmm.
to be a target at this point too. So I don't know.
And
I'm definitely like disappointed because I think, like I said, these next two evictions do worry me a little bit, and thank God it's only like a week and like 3 days
mm-hmm.
left in the season. But I don't know. I think Lauren could have been a little more interesting to keep to see like what she would have done.
Yeah, I think Ava going would have made this end game a bit more interesting because Ava is an interesting character for sure and like exists there for sure, but I just don't know that she's a huge threat to like win competitions or make her goals happen. I
Mm-hmm.
do think that Keanu and Vince are kind of opposite sides of the spectrum in this way,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Keanu, I love Keanu. One of the things I love about Keanu, I mean, is that he's not somebody who gets offended if you take a shot at him. He's very like it's about the game. I'm not going to take it personally. Like that's how the game goes. And so even people that he's like really good friends with, he's very clear like we're still friends. It's just a game decision and I feel like this is what I have to do, which makes it easy for you to nominate him and easy to continue going after him because he opens up that door. Whereas Vinny feels like the opposite end of the spectrum, where anything you do that hurts him is so personal and he'll go cry for you or really try to get you not to and say that it's not his fault that he did things and look for these excuses and really pulls on that emotional side of things.
Yeah.
And I guess I feel like such opposite ends of the spectrum, but both have their negatives and their positives. I guess I don't even know if there's a question there. It's just an observation.
I mean, I agree with
Because
you.
like,
If
what
that's
do you think is better? Like, who cares what's better? They both kind of suck. Like, they need to be well rounded.
yeah.
But yeah, it's very interesting. Because like, yeah, if I was in the house, I know that I could put up Keanu, and he might come to me and be like, "Hey, I think this is stupid because of this." I'd be like, "That sucks, dude. I did it, but I still love you." And he'd be like, "I still love you too.
Mm-hmm.
We're frenemies." And it's like, "Nah, I'm working against you, dude. You just, I'm just keeping this because it's good for me."
Yeah. I mean, I think like in some ways that does work to Keanu's favor because
Yeah.
keep me around. I don't mind if you nominate me. I'll yeah, I'm gonna try to get myself off, but like like I'll take it. But I think obviously Keanu lacks some of that game sense where like he could be using this stuff against other people,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just not. And I don't know. I'm kind of yeah. I do kind of wish he'd be like I don't know, like get fired up a little more. Although when he does that, people get mad. So
It's so dependent on winning, though. Like having that attitude is great until you get voted out.
hmm
Um, Tucker last year, very similar in that way, where he's like, if you nominate him, it's a game. Let's go. Like, let's compete. It is what it is. But he went out like sixth or seventh. Keanu actually won his way pretty deep, and I think is probably one of the best examples of making your target so big that it disappears.
yeah,
Because at some point, people were like, "No, I'm more worried about Vince, Morgan, and Mickey than anything else," because they all three went up twice, including by him, I guess. But
well, it is interesting
yeah,
because
it's
it's
just
like it's not like people stop targeting him. I feel like he had a couple weeks where maybe he wasn't the target.
hmm
I'm trying to think. Like, I don't think Rachel put him up. Ava
Rachel didn't
didn't.
put him up. Vince didn't put him up. He won HOH.
Yeah, so it's not like I think the
Lauren
same
didn't put him
people
up.
have been targeting him. It just might have slowed down or like taken a break or I don't know. So like
He had
like,
week 6, 7,
there-
8, and 9 all off.
there's
Where he
certainly
wasn't on the he was a replacement on 9. Sorry.
like there's certainly a story there of someone who has
Mm-hmm.
been targeted since week 1 and somehow just won his way, to
He's
be
gonna
here.
he's gonna claim that he picked everybody off one by one because that's what he said he was gonna do,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna bug me because I don't think surviving the block is picking somebody off. I think if anybody has an argument that they're doing that, it's Vince. Now sometimes it's somebody who's close to him and he hasn't made all the right decisions or taken all the best shots for sure, 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
But it's that constant conversation we have where would you rather have somebody who survives and is able to keep pushing through and like survive anything and make it to the end, or that person who controls the game and is influencing decisions? Not that he hasn't influenced any, but his story isn't really that of
Yeah.
controlling the game and taking shots.
Completely agree. And I think whoever he sits next to, that's going to be an interesting like debate of like, is that enough to say he has a stronger game than whoever he's sitting next to?
Mm-hmm.
Because like the other side of it is, I think like sometimes I also try to view this as like, how good of a game did they have given like, I guess given what they were given. So like in his circumstances, he has hardly been in a position to like, I don't know, dictate a vote or like make a power move, anything like that. Like most of his moves have had to be from the block, which at that point, like, what can you do other than win the blockbuster or survive the vote? So like in that sense, like it's hard to compare that game with someone who has had power because it's not like my move was better than your move. It's like, well, my move, like it was impossible to get your move because like I wasn't the HOH at that time, so.
Mm-hmm.
Or like I was sitting on the block, so I couldn't be a part of these conversations of where the vote's gonna go. So I don't know. I think like there are certain people like maybe Ava or Ashley where, and again, I'm not saying they have bad games, but like their games are more subtle, right? As opposed to like Vince and Morgan, whose games are very like everyone knows what their games are. So I think like if Keanu is sitting next to one of them, it's going to be an interesting discussion to have.
Sitting next to one of Ashley
Vince
or
Morgan.
Ava?
Vince or Morgan. Sorry.
Oh, Vince or Morgan. Yeah, I would almost argue that should be his goal. Because you could at least say that he... I don't know. If I had won a ton of competitions, I would want to go against somebody else who won a bunch of competitions who maybe isn't as well liked, because I could argue against that person than somebody who played a completely different game than me. Because now you're comparing like what game is more valuable, and that's more risky, I think, than picking somebody who has very specific examples of how the game was influenced.
Yeah. No, that's valid. Man.
I think Morgan's playing the best game in the house.
I think I agree with you. I'm torn is because, like we said, she's obviously working from a place of emotion.
Yeah.
I just think right now her emotional decision is in line with the correct strategic decision.
Yeah.
Like her wanting Lauren out is an emotional move. It was also the correct move for her.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
so
absolutely.
does it matter of where it's coming from if she is doing it? That's where I'm kind of torn.
Absolutely. And she like has this way of really only influencing Vince, but Vince has had so much power that's extremely valuable to be able to influence him.
Yeah.
And it's just so interesting watching her because I feel like Vince tries so hard to be the victim and he's really bad at it. Where whenever it's this situation, she's able to be like, if he does something wrong, she's actually mad at him and actually like there's repercussions to that and it makes him nervous and it makes him have to apologize. I don't know if it's the other way around, where if she did something, I feel like he would just like, he'd like be upset about it and just go crawling back to her almost. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like that's what gives her power in that relationship, is she's actually willing to just completely drop him I think he kind of knows that. I think that's why he keeps doing what she wants.
Well, and I think like she is very successful in what she
Hmm.
does in getting her way. You know, and I can't Kelly had that line that she said several times where like Morgan gets what Morgan wants, right?
Hmm.
Uh, in the context of this was not Vinny's move, this was not his HOH.
Hmm.
Um, so I can't quite tell like if that line of thinking is meant to uh, lessen Vinny's game or if she is giving Morgan a compliment. You know, I think it could be a little bit of
Yeah.
both. Cause like that's a good thing to hear. Like, oh, you're right, I do
Hmm.
get what I want. You know, like,
Hmm.
or it could just be condescending. So I can't quite tell. You know how she actually views Morgan because again, that was
Yeah.
used to try to lessen Vinny's winning game, I guess.
It was meant to be an insult, so you're not sure if you should take it as a compliment, almost.
Yes, exactly. But like if that's what they're thinking, like if the line of thinking is Morgan is the one who's controlling all this stuff, then if she can own that in the end, like that's a very strong thing on your resume.
Hmm. Absolutely. Ashley and Ava. I feel like we've talked about everybody else a lot.
Yeah.
Where are you at with this? Ashley's a secret genius and just playing a character theory. What are we feeling?
Oh man. I still believe it to an extent, and I think she has lessened the character a bit.
Mm.
Okay?
Mm. Okay. Yeah.
Cuz I don't think she's still the first couple weeks she was definitely more on the obnoxious side of certain things.
Hmm.
And I think her ability to have game talk has improved. So like I think there's a combination where it's not like she was a completely different person. It's probably just like exaggerating certain sides of her personality,
Yeah.
quieting down other sides. Because I still stand by like when she talks game, she knows what's happening more than
Hmm.
anyone in the house. I fully believe that. I just don't think she has had the ability when it comes to I don't know, because like she is swaying votes. Like I do think she did a lot to keep herself safe last week over the vote against Will. I
Hmm.
do think she had a lot of conversations with Morgan and Keanu this week, and obviously they were in line of voting out Kelly. So like she's doing stuff. I just don't think the competitions are there, which is unfortunate. And at this
Hmm.
point, I don't know if it's going to be enough to like have a successful end game.
Yeah. That's where I was at too, in that, like, I think to an extent she's playing up this character intentionally. I think that's definitely like I think that's definitely like a part of who she is. This like goofy, I don't want to say the word ditzy and sound negative, but kind of that vibe where she's like
Mm-hmm.
just laughing and loud and whatever. That's definitely part of who she is. But yeah, there is this other side that she's been suppressing and now letting come out a little bit. I'm curious if she gets to the end, will she be able, like, will she, I guess probably just her saying she's an attorney will suddenly validate that she's the secret genius to the jury, and that might win her a lot of votes just in general, because apparently that reveal is that valuable. um
Yeah.
which I sound really negative on it, but like I think it has become this token thing that kind of annoys me of like, oh,
every
I'm actually
season,
this.
every
And it's
season there
like,
has to be one secret occupation.
or like, and it's always an attorney now. Like every single
Mm-hmm.
time, it's just, and wasn't it like a couple seasons of Survivor ago where it was like four different attorneys, one that said what they were,
Yeah.
one that only told one person, one that kept it a complete, like they all did different things with it.
Well, yeah,
Wild.
because there was the conversation where three of them were on the beach all talking,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them I think said it, and so like the confessionals were like they don't know. Oh, like
Yeah.
so it pretty much just balances out, I guess.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think there's something there, and I'm just wondering how much this her social game, how valuable it's going to be in the end. I think it depends on who
Mm-hmm.
she's sitting next to, but
Well, the thing is though, I think she has the advantage of like Rachel and Will being the first in the jury house.
Mm-hmm.
And like I hate to say that, but it's going to be really hard for them not to vote for her. It just is. And that's a pretty big advantage.
This season introduced like intentionally getting people out so that you can almost pick the jurors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that hasn't been a strategy that's been talked about more, because that's super valuable. And honestly, there's a part of it that bugs me because I feel like Rachel is will hold a lot of sway, and so suddenly just being an ally of her is that much more valuable. Which is like it's a strategy. It works. Doesn't mean I like it. It's kind of where I'm at.
Well, that's why I'm kind of just bracing for, let's say, like Vince or Keanu gets to the end and they end up losing to like Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's a very likely scenario, and a lot of people aren't going to like it.
We
like
saw why
this.
Vince did. Keanu, people are going to be mad. I think Vince less so because people saw. I think people are seeing through it. If I'm seeing through it, and I was trying not to this whole season.
Maybe. I always brace for like
But the normies, yeah.
the normies, the casuals who just view competitions very highly and like Ashley didn't do anything all season, which is fair if that's what you're looking for, Like I can't argue that she did a lot, but I think she is very likely to receive a good amount of jury votes against anyone, and I don't think the Facebook group is going to be ready to accept that.
Yeah. That's why I like players like Dr. Will so much. Is I feel like he showed that winning competitions isn't where the power is. Or doesn't have to be where the power is. That's probably a better way to put it. Now, whether or not he actually threw the early competitions or he just sucked at them, I'm all open for that conversation because I think he might have just been bad and then played into it. But there's been several like great players that have thrown competitions, and I think that's fascinating to see. Like, that's not where the power is. Like, the power is in like making sure people do what you want them to do, not in making the decisions yourself.
Yeah, completely agree. Ava.
Ava,
I don't know, man. I got
I got nothing.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's just say that. What about her production of The Pawn when Vince nominated her? Remember that?
It's just, it was, yeah, I remember it. I just, I don't like calling things cringe as a rule, but that was my reaction. I was just like, oh, like you're trying so hard to have this cool TV moment, and you just don't have the like charisma to make it cool. I think it's a moment, and it's definitely like a thing that happened, and people will probably remember it. Doesn't mean it was good or cool. And if I do something like
Yeah.
that, I'm trying to be cool. Now, was Ava going for cool? I would actually be surprised if she was. So she might have accomplished what she was going for. But I'd be going for cool when I come up with lines like that. Oh my gosh. So I'm watching Australian Survivor vs. the World.
Uh-huh.
And this isn't a spoiler, but in one
That's
of the
fine.
early
I already know
episodes.
who wins.
I know. In one of the early episodes, Sari is like she finds out somebody is going for her, and she says, if you come for me and I didn't send for you, your torch is getting snuffed. And that's one of the coolest lines I have ever heard in Survivor, Nathan. It is
That's
so
pretty great.
cool. Oh, it's my
why she's the
favorite. Like,
best.
that is cool. She has the charisma. That is cool to say. Having a pawn, less cool.
If only she could have been better at Big Brother, huh?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, well,
I don't like when people talk poorly of her because of her Big Brother game.
Well, yeah.
But
it's fair to
yeah.
say she's better at one than the other, right?
Oh, comfortably.
I think the thing with Ava is she recently have had a couple moments on the live feeds where she has just admitted she's trying to get America's Favorite House Guest, and I think that irritates me. And I think with that knowledge, and she's mentioned it several times, and even with the confidence of like, well, yeah, I think I'll probably get it. I mean, like, look at me, and
that makes me really mad.
well, yes. So with that in mind, I think anytime she does anything, that's the lens I'm viewing it through. and it just comes across as so insincere, and especially when it is Vince as HOH, and there are at this point 7 people in the house. Okay, so remove the HOH. 3 people have to go up. He already put you up. You put him up. This was not a sincere reaction of, how dare you? You should have been like, yeah, that makes sense. We're not working together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's extremely irritating to me that she lives in this world where she thinks she can manipulate me as an audience member to vote for her. And I'm not falling for it.
And she thinks that she is going to beat Rachel, who everybody is furious was unjustly taken out of the game. You think that there's not going to be millions of people who are like, no, I'm voting for Rachel because she got screwed. She deserves the money of America's favorite house guest. That's wild to me. I'm mad.
I
also,
actually
apparently...
think...
No, go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead. I mean, I'll go.
I was going to say, I was reading something. I was reading something before this, and it was Ava and Ashley pushing back against the rules because of the, like, arguing with production because of the Rachel stuff. Like, they would be like, hey, do this. And they'd be like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, if you're just going to kick people out of nowhere, blah, 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 blah. And, like, arguing with production. And then they'd, like, cut the feeds. I think it's legit. I actually didn't look into... There was a video. I didn't watch it, but I assume it's real. That's not going to win you any favors either.
Of Ashley talking to the... Because I saw that video today.
Ashley and Ava both did it, I think.
Because there's a video today of Ashley in bed, and she was, like, just talking out loud, and she's like... She's like, I'm not, like, I can't play this game. Like, what do you want me to do? This is a competition game. Like, I'm not going to play. Like, there's no strategy. Like, the rules have changed. Like, I can't do anything, so I'm just going to lay here. Like, I would love to go play the game, but
yeah, they were napping, and they were like, no napping. And it's like, what? We're not going to talk game. Just, like, there's nothing to talk about if you're just going to eliminate us.
Well, and then production on the mic said give it a rest, which was kind of funny, but...
That's so good. Get over it.
Yeah, so... But I was going to say with...
Like Shima back in the day.
America's favorite house guest, I think Keanu has a solid chance of winning.
He has a chance. I feel like Brendan's going to be running a campaign along with all of the alumni who are pissed. I'd put money on it, Rachel winning.
I mean, yeah, she's obviously the favorite, but... Man, this season is tainted. Every time I forget that, I watch the season and I halfway forget about that twist, and then I'm reminded of it. I'm like, this season would be so different if she was still in the house, you know? And
oh, absolutely.
It's just, it's still so stupid that we let that happen.
I'm upset about it. I always want to lead with that. It sucks. The fact that it was the person who had 2 times under their belt going home feels like the fairest outcome. Is that unfair? Is that ridiculous of me to say? Not that it's fair, but it's the most reasonable outcome to.
I mean, I guess it depends on how you want to view.
Her advantage to an extent.
Sure. I think there's other ways to give her a handicap. You know, like if you are going to have an alumni come in who has
in the house, and have him be really, really bad at the game.
Maybe. The original cheat mance. That's not the original. There's been so many cheat mances in the history of Big Brother.
Oh yeah. I think a part of it with Vince. Sorry, this is a side note. I think it makes me sad to see somebody, even though he brought it on himself and he did these things, to know that they're gonna leave the house and get punched in the face by this reaction. Even Riley, I was like, that sucks that he has to leave the house and realize that everybody doesn't like him.
Sure. Yeah,
and even if they deserve it, it sucks to have to experience that.
I think my hope is that this is just a wake-up call, because...
Zingbot wasn't. It's an hour in and we just mentioned Zingbot.
So here's... That's true. I mean, I think my biggest take is that I think Vince knows what he's doing. I don't know how you can't. Especially I mean, literally every single person has said it to him except for Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
There is like I'm sorry. There's no way you are in a relationship with someone for 7 years and don't have some sort of idea of like what your boundaries are physically with another
Mm-hmm.
female. Like
Mm-hmm.
I just think unless he has zero female relationships in his life, I think he knows what he's doing, but he will just deny for the sake of getting out of the house and trying to claim that he didn't know. Like that's all it is to me. Because I think like if
Mm.
he full out admits it right now, that's a bad look. Because he's just full on, I don't care about my girlfriend. But if he denies, at least he can try to pretend when it's done. I don't know.
He
That's just
has
my take.
he has HOH letter not from his ex-girlfriend. It was his dad, and it was like four lines long, and everybody laughed at him.
Yeah, he's got to know. Like as much as he
I don't know if he's that good of a manipulator, but maybe he is. Maybe he's razzle
I
dazzling
don't even
me.
think it's like manipulating. I just think it's trying to soften the blow. I think again it's the people pleaser of like what is the least amount of damage. Okay, I'm going to go to the line as close as I can with Morgan. I didn't cross it, like I didn't cheat. And
Hmm.
like technically he's right, I guess.
The fact that neither of them seem to comprehend the lines that they're crossing.
Well, I think with
She
Morgan,
was mad. She was mad when she heard the joke. She's like, "No, I respect that totally." Blah blah blah. It's like, do you?
well,
Is
I
that what
think
you
with
think you're doing?
Morgan, I give her a little more credit because it's not her decision on like what Vince's boundaries are. Like Vince should know better because he's the one with the girlfriend. With Morgan, if he's telling her that's okay, what's to say that he doesn't do this with other females in his life? You know? So like I don't know. I don't think she is in the wrong here.
I I wouldn't give her that pass. I don't think.
Well, cuz like
Not
all
that
she
she.
has
I think he's ultimately more to blame for sure. He should have boundaries. He's the one in a relationship. I
Mhm.
think if you know somebody's in a relationship, the way that you interact with them, the way that you talk to them, especially when it comes to like physical touch. Like I'll hug people for sure, but like your wife, I'm friends with both of you. I wouldn't like give her a long hug or like like stroke her back if she's no, she's your wife. Like I'm not going to do that. Obviously wife maybe to a more extreme extent, but like I wouldn't do that to somebody I didn't know. Maybe that was a weird example, and I apologize if it was. Don't tell her I said
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. But
But
I
yeah,
think
that, like, you know what I mean. Like I know better than that. I'm not gonna make it even something that you could like be like, oh, is Tony being weird? No, I'm not even gonna approach that line.
yes, but I think like let's say she is just naturally physical person, which I think she is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that line only exists if there is someone's in a relationship. Like if she's like that with another guy, it's no big deal. That's
Yeah.
just her being physical. So if the person in a relationship is saying like, "Oh, this is fine," like I do this all the time with people, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
the only boundaries she knows is what Vince is telling her. And so I think
I
that's
suppose.
where it's different.
Yeah.
It'd be one thing if she knew his girlfriend. It'd be one thing if like she knew, and I'm not saying she doesn't. Like, for all I know, she could be intentionally trying to like slip in. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying the one person out of the two of them that like actually knows what's going on is Vince. And so that's where I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know. If Morgan gets out and she legitimately is like, because like I think Zingbach did shock her, you know, because I think in her
Oh
mind
yeah.
she was like, "Oh, I'm like this with a lot of my guy friends," and Vince told me it was fine. So, and I don't know. I think like I hate to be that person, but like it was a little annoying that like Zingbot gave her the slack rather than Vince. You know, like Vince is the one who has the relationship here. Why isn't he the butt of the joke? Why is it Morgan Zing? You know, like for
Yeah.
future season, like for future Big Brother history. Oh, what was Morgan Zing about? Oh yeah, that was because Vince had a girlfriend. Like, I don't know, kind of
Well, I feel
weird,
like
but
oh no, that actually helps your case because I can't remember what Christine and Cody's zings were. But that was another one where it was like they're getting awkwardly close and too touchy-feely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
and she got a divorce because of it.
yeah. But yeah, to your point, the Big Brother house is also just notoriously more touchy-feely. Not that excuses it for Morgan, but like just generally the way that the house guests interact together. They hug, they cuddle. After every competition, after every vote, after every veto thing, everybody gets up and hugs each other. Like it's just a very physical touch thing. Does that? And I'm not saying that to excuse it, but like that's to your point where if that's the norm, yeah, it's probably fine with everybody else. And Will said he very clearly has boundaries and wouldn't do that. Apparently, Vince doesn't have those. We got back to Vince and Morgan. I don't know how he did that.
Yeah. I mean, all I'm saying is if you're in a relationship with someone for 7 years, the conversation has come up. Unless, I don't know. I can't imagine it hasn't. That's crazy to me. 7 years is a long time. If you don't know what your partner's expectations are for you with other people like that, then you're a bad boyfriend. You know,
for sure. But to follow that logic, if they've had that conversation and they've been together for 7 years, it means that for the most part he probably listens to those boundaries, and therefore now he's just consciously choosing not to. And that doesn't make it untrue, but that doesn't it doesn't make sense to me that he would know that he's breaking boundaries and just continue to do it. Or allow himself to do it. Unless he wanted to break up with her anyways. And he's just a scumbag who is too much of a people pleaser to do it. So he's going to use national TV to embarrass her.
It's almost like he's trying
ridiculous.
to put himself in a position where she makes the decision for him because he doesn't want to do it. It's like, what? You're breaking up with me? Why? No. What?
Golly, it's weird. All right.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to go down that train either, but here we are.
No, it's true. In past weeks, I was like defensive because I was like, nah, but I kind of like him, and now I'm all in. So yeah, he's weird. Not that what he did was never weird. It's just my instinct was I like him, and so my instinct was to defend him.
It's really hard to justify at this point. It really is.
Yeah, and I don't want to say that at any point it was justifiable, but I was like, but I'm rooting for him a little bit, and so I'll defend him.
Yeah, I get it. All right, anything else?
No.
Cool. All right, well, there you go. We'll be back next week. And then
yeah, we will.
I guess a couple days after. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Maybe Monday evening or something.
For more episodes, visit notgameallpersonal.com. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere else to podcast. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter. I don't know why I started there. TikTok, YouTube at NGAPpod. That's at NGAPpod. I'm Nathan. This is Tony, and we'll see you next week.
Shout out to all my dogs at the crib.